There was a new buyer out there looking for a sleeker, more refined car. To reach these customers, Pontiac developed the Tempest in 1961, and the following year added a sportier Lemans version. The robust sales of the Tempest helped Pontiac move up to third place in 1962. As they readied their new models for '64, the corporation once again issued a stern edict banning racing. They also set guidelines to keep Pontiac from manufacturing cars with large engines that racers might use. Pontiac decided to counteract this racing ban with a powerful new option. The designers placed a 389 cubic inch engine in the 3,300-pound Le Mans, 60 more cubic inches than GM's new rules allowed. GM's oversight committees were bypassed by using existing parts and keeping the project away from prying eyes. They sneaked the new GTO into the marketplace in 1964 with a brief mention in an ad that covered Pontiac's complete lineup. But the dealers were paying attention. They immediately placed orders for 5,000 GTOs. GM also noticed.
Corporation said, we'll let you build it. We don't like it, but you got it out there. We can't take it away from you. If you're only going to build 5,000, okay. But don't let it get any bigger than that. Oh, no, there's no chance this is going to get any bigger than that.
By the following year, 1965, the GTO was a certified hit. GM reviewed the sales success of the GTO, over 30,000 in 1964, 75,000 in '65, and decided not to scold Pontiac for its success. Instead, they told the other divisions to build one too. The muscle car era had begun. Estes went on to Chevrolet, and DeLorean became Pontiac's general manager. While DeLorean was riding high on the GTO's success, he wasn't satisfied. He wanted something more, something sportier. He wouldn't have to wait too long. The Firebird was just around the corner.